Time to do some sketchy crap, doo-dah, doo-dah. Time to do some sketchy crap. Oh, doo-dah day. Welcome back to the homestead. All right, look who's back. That's right, Kason, Elder Christensen is back from Texas. Tomorrow, or the next video I make, is gonna be inside the manor, because we're gonna go drop all of the ceilings, and a video's coming up on that. But right now, we're gonna talk about Israel, Gaza. The whole world is falling apart. Look how pretty that is. And look how pretty that is. And we're gonna talk about how you don't lose your mind in the midst of all this chaos. Because if you think it's bad now, just wait till tomorrow and the next day and the next month and the next year. Because I have a feeling that things aren't gonna go back to normal. Our new normal is gonna be chaos. And you and I have got to find a way to keep our minds in it. Keep our minds straight. That's what's coming up. All right. Heaven and angels sing, and heaven and angels sing, and heaven, heavens, and they... Oh, I'm not that flexible anymore. Angels sing. Now we're gonna watch Kason knock this tree down. No, that's not OSHA approved, and no, I haven't told Becca that we just cut down her cherry tree. In scripture, it describes the end times as a woman in travail, which means that once those birthing pains start, not only do they continue in frequency, but they also intensify. And I think that's what we're at right now. And that's the discussion I want to have with you. Maybe we'll come here under banana lights. I ran out of daylight. So we're in the greenhouse, the year-round greenhouse, and things are still growing fantastic. Passion fruit, the avocado plants are growing well. There's no avocados on them, but we do have oranges. Take a look at this. So I'm going to send you with some good news before I go to the bad news. So if you are like me, you're watching things that are happening over in Israel, and you're wondering what is next? What's the next shoe to drop? Well, it seems like there's a massive escalation on one side, which in my mind is going to promise to bring retaliation from the next side, which is then going to move on to different world powers siding up on one side or the other. Tribalism. And things that are bad are just going to get worse. And you know what? It reminded me of a story that happened in the middle of the lockdown. So rewind your mind back to 2020, and the whole world had lost its mind. You know, we started doing all this social distancing of 6 feet. We started putting on masks. We started experimenting in a massive way without testing. We started just doing so much stupid stuff. And in the middle of that, life seemed really different, didn't it? It seemed strange. And you know, we, on our homestead, I hate to say this, and this is not bragging, but we thrived. We loved it. We had another baby. That's when baby Keisha came. And all of our busy, out of control calendar just all wiped clean. And I love sports. I love my kids' sports, but they all canceled. And so we had all of our kids at the house. And we had a lot of neighborhood kids that weren't supposed to be over at our house. And we had a lot of backyard activities. We had a lot of fun. I grew the biggest garden I've ever grown in my life. I was just loving it. And I was fully prepping away at the time. Don't get me wrong. I already had my toilet paper. And so I was moving on to other essential preps and wondering, okay, how far does this go? But then I had this experience happen to me. I went over to a friend of mine, and there's a family, my friend and her family, and they were in crisis mode. Like when I went in the house, you know, they needed some help, and so they asked me to cover up, which I did, and I walked in the house and used hand sanitizer, which I did out of respect. But like, as I talked with the parent, they talked about how their kids were just really cooped up in the house, and they were getting very depressed and stir crazy. And I'm like, well, go outside. And they kind of all looked at me. I'm like, well, no, go get some fresh air. And, you know, they're not really sports minded, which is fine. But I'm like, go throw a Frisbee, go garden, go pull weeds, go do your thing. I mean, if you're worried, and I was trying to be very respectful because I didn't have a lot of those same concerns, but I get it. People did. I was trying to tell them, we'll go do something about it. Buy a bike like the rest of the whole world. You know, you couldn't buy a bike nor bike parts because there was such a run on that kind of stuff because people were stir crazy. But these wonderful people were just cooped up and locked up in fear. And it really affected me and I felt horrible because I was thriving and I wasn't as aware of my friends and neighbors like I should have been. I was doing this massive, like freaking mega garden, and I wasn't as cognizant of those around me as I should have been. I learned a huge lesson and got a little bit of a rebuke from that. But also, I would say to those that got completely inhibited by fear, I hope you learned something. I hope you learn to be in charge of your own direction and not be led by propaganda. Sorry if that sounds hard, but I also learned that you and I need to be very much in control of our spiritual and emotional well-being. So if you had a hard time coping through that, I hate to break it to you, but it's not going to get any better. From a scriptural standpoint, like I just mentioned about the woman in travail, how the pains and the tribulations that we are going to go through are just going to get closer together and they're going to intensify, just like a woman having birth. That's what's coming. I mean, I believe that fully. I think that the word has it right. And I think that the really heavy stuff that we're going to go into is probably going to shift into the really massive stuff like next year. I mean, 2024, from the things that I'm studying and I'm following and that I'm feeling, I think that we're having escalations now, in case you haven't noticed. And I think that just continues. So I would ask you, are you ready? And if you're not ready, what are you going to do to get ready? Coping mechanisms. I mean, the rest of this video, you're going to see me and my boys, the middle of the night, up on our roof, putting up Christmas lights. Then my other two boys are off catching mice because they're getting paid $1 a mouse. And so they're literally hiding inside of grain bins. Like, I can't get them to go to sleep. It's a school night and it's past 10 o'clock and they're in the grain bin because they want to earn money and they're having fun catching mice. We all need to have those outlets. You know, I believe that now is not the time to stick our head in the sand because it's scary. For me, it's less scary if you know the enemy, you know where it's at, you know what's happening, you know what's coming, you can forecast what's coming and you can prepare for it. That's me. Now, I get it. Everybody's a little bit different. But you got to figure out how you're going to handle an ever-increasing, ever-intensifying world that's spinning further and further into chaos. Because that's my message, is that it's going to continue. You can hide from that freight train and you can just close your eyes, or you can put your car into drive and you can get the heck off of the railroad tracks and get to safety. That's what this time of preparation is, baby. The Homestead hasn't been any busier. So tomorrow we officially start the project in the Rock Manor. Like, we're hitting it very hard. So that's the first day. And I'll admit, after I got done with the pink house remodel, I had to take a couple of weeks. I mean, my son returned home off of his mission after he served a 2-year mission. So I hadn't seen him for 2 years. We had all these big parties. I mean, on Sunday we had 80 people. I had to barbecue chicken for 80 people last Sunday. And so we had these big parties. And then the day after he got home, so he got home on Friday. The day after, we went up to Lagoon, which was like a 2-hour drive, and went to an amusement park. Then we had to come home and feed the 80 people and blah, blah, blah. And in the middle of that, I'm like, okay, Nate, are you really going to subject yourself in this inflationary environment, waiting for all the labor and spending exuberant amounts of money and remodel a second house within 1 year? And after taking a break, yes, I'm going to do that. But I had to take a second. So what do you have to do to keep mentally, spiritually strong? Because I suggest you got to figure it out, because this freight train is coming. But we can do it. You can totally do it. We are up to the task.
Why it's not
Put
tight.
one on the corner, Maria, for la review, la sera.
How far on the corner?
Try to get all the way to the corner over there. Oh, hurry up.
Broke it.
Okay, now wrap it around. Gosh, it is so awesome having help.
Wrap it around.
Love it. I firmly believe that we actually had a say to the very moment in time that we were to come onto this great planet. We probably understood the end time scenario of which we would be born. And we probably volunteered. So we're here. Let's make the most of it. But I promise you, we are supposed to be prepared. I promise you. You're supposed to be doing what comes to your mind. And if you haven't started, just start in small ways. Once you start, if you kind of keep feeling for it, you're going to be told what to do, what to build, and told how to keep your family safe. So all of those things will come to you. I can't tell you what to do. Put in your comments what you've done, though, to stay mentally healthy, to stay alert, but not overcome. All right, I'm sure we could all benefit from those comments, so please make them below. And remember, like and subscribe. Let's grow the channel. When all of a sudden there arose such a clatter, I ran to the chickens to see what was the matter. So I don't have any more rhymes, but I want you to see this.
He came out your way. Oh, we trapped $1 million.
Oh dang, look in here.
I can't do too much or people will... Hi, little birds. The birds are wondering what's going on.
Trevor, they're all getting out.
So we have a mice problem. I just wanted you to see that. That's all I'm going to do. I had a really good mouse video one time. They got taken down.
So many mice. I don't think you understand. I would have already killed 5 at this point.
All right. I think that's probably enough of the rant and enough of the boys with the mice, right? I wanted to end showing you the avocado because it continues to grow, as do the artichokes. You guys, life is pretty good. I want you to know that. But I do want you to know that you need to be paying attention because things are definitely getting intense. Like and subscribe. More videos on the way. Again, remember, put in the comments things that you're interested in. I still want to do a full update on this greenhouse. And it's been fun. A lot of you have reached out. I've got a few people that I've actually showed so many people the greenhouse. We've done a ton of tours. But for those of you that live far away and want to see certain things, just put in the comments. I actually read all the comments. So, okay, we'll see you next time. Appreciate you being here. Thanks.